Welcome to the Better Than Success podcast, the podcast for first-generation entrepreneurs and key members of small teams. The podcast dedicated to helping leaders win in every way possible. The podcast that talks leadership, systems, investing, entrepreneurship, teamwork, branding, marketing, and much more. And now your host, entrepreneur, author, real estate investor, and founder of Better Than Success, Nicole Purvy. Hello, friends, leaders, and investors. This is your host of the Better Than Success podcast, Nicole Purvy, and I have a really great show in store for you today. But before we get into this content, just want to remind you guys that our Better Than Success live podcast recording is coming up May 19th. May 19th. I'm so excited. We've got brunch. We've got Wallow 267. We've got Ash Cash. I'm going to be interviewing them live with music and alcohol. And our event planner just sent back some amazing things that she has in store for you guys. We've got this whole balloon situation that we got popping. But I cannot wait. I can't wait because, first of all, I don't know if I told you, that's a few days after my birthday. So it's lightweight going to be a birthday celebration. So I forgot. I have not even planned. There's so much stuff going on in May and June. I haven't even thought about the fact that my birthday is coming up. And it's kind of a mouse. I'm turning 35. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel good because I'm healthy and I'm alive and I'm blessed. So make sure you guys come out and celebrate my 35th birthday with me, and make sure you come out for this interview. I don't know if you guys know Wallow 267, but he is so animated. But more importantly, he's really motivational, and he's always dropping gems. Every time I'm with him, he's putting me on game about something. So make sure you're here. Make sure you get your ticket. If you listen to this, by the time you listen to this podcast, the early bird tickets are actually going to be all gone, but you can get your ticket. And trust me, the tickets are flying. So hurry up and get them now. BetterThanSuccess.com/brunch. You get your ticket right now. So, okay, I have an amazing interview. I know this interview is going to bless your socks off. I have the amazing Delilah Dee here. She is the founder of Delilah Company, LLC, a digital content and events agency that pushes positive messages from influencers to the public. The Philadelphia-born and raised proud Latina serves as an embodiment of vitality in the lives of those she serves. Aside from Delilah and Company, Delilah also launched Hermanas and Hustle, a project she uses. She empowers women to come together and shine together in true sisterhood fashion. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited. Wait, first of all, when's your birthday?
May 15th.
I'm May 17th.
Yes.
So Taurus gang, yes.
Yes. I love it. Are you coming to the brunch on that Saturday?
I'm going to be in London, so I'm flying out. I know. Look, I found round trip tickets for $300. So I know I'm an avid traveler, especially when I find cheap tickets like that. I can't miss them.
Really? Okay. Yes. What secrets do you use to get cheap tickets like that?
We're always searching, but for this one was a new airline that just came out. It's called Primera Air. So they were selling round trip tickets to Paris, London for $200, $300, and they're leaving from New York. So I just felt okay, I needed to go.
What?
So I'm actually not going to be back until the 22nd.
Do they still have cheap tickets?
I think because my friend was looking into tickets. They're not $300, $350 or $400, but they're still, because they're going through this whole marketing thing right now. They're trying to get as many people to purchase their tickets. So check it out. So I know they're not sponsoring me, but if they want to, I
need this in my life. Okay,
I know. So we'll get back to that. It's called Primera Airlines.
Primera Airlines. Yeah. Okay, guys, look.
Yeah, look.
Bless your life already. Right. Right. So, Delilah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. Finally.
I know. I feel like we were supposed to meet so many times, and our schedules just never worked. But finally, the universe was okay, we need to come together. Yes. They need to come together and be great or whatever. So we're here.
So I just read off your bio. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So as she said, I run a digital content and events agency, and what we do is we push positive messages from influencers to the public. So the content we produce, the events we put on, we just want anyone who's affiliated with the brand of Delilah Company, have them understand like the primary message is it doesn't matter where you start off in life, you and only you have complete control where you end up. So it's like, even if we're doing like red carpet coverage or event recaps, we would never be on a red carpet and just asking the celebrities like, oh, who are you wearing today? We don't care about that. Our whole thing is like, when you felt like you wanted to give up, when you felt like nothing was going your way, what was it that kept you pushing forward? Because I feel like, especially in this generation that we live in right now, a lot of people, they look up to these celebrities, they see the glitz and glam, but they forget, like they tend to forget, they went through blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they are right now. Not just celebrities, like, you know, anyone that started off as an underdog that, you know, are thriving in their careers, whatever that career may be. It's not something that happens overnight. And I feel like, especially, again, in this generation we live in, a lot of people are always looking for fast results. They're always looking for what's the next hustle? How can I make money fast? Well, that's great. If there's something you're genuinely passionate about, like, you shouldn't give up because you're not seeing results immediately. It's something that's going to take days, months, years of dedication. And, you know, you have to feed into your goals, your dreams. And that's kind of like, I mean, yeah, what we do in DC, we share those stories of not just people who already made it, but people who are also currently working hard to make their dreams come true.
And, you know, it's interesting because that's part of the inspiration for the podcast. You know, I am really intentional about asking certain questions. Like, I always try to say, when you tell me that you've made a transition in your career or your life, I'm like, what was going through your head? Because people, they love to tell these like great, beautiful, amazing stories. How everything is so picture perfect. And it's like, no, look, tell us exactly what it took to get here.
Yes.
So I can totally relate. So, okay. Tell us, like, so you do these events. Tell us exactly how the business works.
So in regards to the events
or the social, like, tell us exactly how it works.
So with the events,
who's your customer? I should start there. Who's your customer?
So my primary target market are basically urban millennials. You know, even targeting our youth from like 18 to like 35-year-olds. So the content we produce are geared towards them in particular, because like, especially me coming from North Philadelphia, I'm blessed that I was able to have mentors to kind of you know, push me down the right path, push me understand that, again, I can do anything I set my mind to. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that same access to knowledge, to people pushing them. So that's the reason why I came up with the whole platform with DNC, is to pretty much that platform, like, you know, it will be used to inspire people to, like, you know, push and follow their dreams, to be your mentor. So, yeah, that's like who our initial target market is. It's just like, you know, my peers who I grew up with, the youth that I'm working with. So it's just like, yeah, we want them to understand, like, what you're seeing right now, you can change. It is not something, this is just a chapter in your life. It is not how your story is going to end. So that's my target market. But for events, thankfully, it's so crazy because this is my 5th year of doing DNC. And it's just like how everything is just kind of falling into place right now. So the one thing I've always been like with my followers is when they see my stories, I'm very transparent about everything. You are not going to get like, oh my God, like you said, everything is so perfect. All this stuff is happening to me. It's all amazing. Like, no, you're going to see the good stuff, but you're also going to see the really bad stuff too. You're going to see me when I'm breaking down crying because I'm having a panic attack because things aren't going my way. But you're also going to see how I came up from that. You're also going to see how I didn't let that, you know, stop me, or like, you know, any bad stories, what did I learn from it? So it's because that's the stuff that people need. So with me being transparent, I've been able to draw in a lot of people who've been wanting to work with me or work with my brand in general. So it's just like, again, it's been one thing that's been happening after another. So one person in particular, which he's been pretty much like my business partner, my events partner, his name is Shaquille. And so he's already had a network of, like, you know, he works with vendors, he works with different, like, you know, the venues and stuff here in Philadelphia. So I've already had a vision, like, this is what I want to do. These are the type of events I want to have. These are the people I want to bring together. And I just, like, I want to offer Philadelphia more than just going out, you know, party scene. Like, I want to do more. Like, I want people to leave, you know, feeling like they left learning something. So even if it's something as simple as putting together a mitzvah, like, you know, now we have a monthly Black and Latina mitzvah where we bringing our two cultures together, and, you know, it's good vibes, good music, you know, customized cocktails, and we just have people come and just learn about each other and network with one another. But so you do these events once a month. Yes.
How is that the only events that you do, this particular event? Like, tell me.
So that's the one that's a monthly event, but we do other ones. Like, for instance, we've done, like, you know, fashion shows. So with a fashion show we've done in the past, we bring together fashion designers, like local fashion designers, and it's a way for them to showcase their work. So we're actually working on another one right now, and then we'll also It's going to have like a Victoria's Secret type vibe where we'll also have local performers. Excuse me.
That.
And we'll have local artists performing while the models are coming down too. So that's like our next big project we're working on right now. But even,
so how many people do you get typically to come out to your?
Depends on the event. So like with the first fashion show we did, we were sold out. So we had like over 200 people. We had a Grammy. So we did a Grammy viewing party, and this was like random. We just decided like, okay, like how dope would it be if we had people come out like for a Grammy viewing party, because we never had something like that here in Philadelphia. Everyone gets dressed up. We never go one another. Honestly, we thought like it's a Sunday. Who's gonna want to like leave their couch to come watch the Grammys with us? Who's gonna come to this? We were prepared to maybe cater to like 20 or 30 people, or like 15 of those people is gonna be my family and my friends. But that's what we were prepared to cater to. But it was so funny because we ended up having over 300 RSVPs, and this was an event we put together in 2 weeks. So it was then when I started realizing the magnitude of my outreach and just my presence in general, how I can like bring people together. And yeah, Philly just wants different types of events. Like,
of course, yes, they do. They're super thirsty for a really good quality.
Yeah.
So how are you monetizing them? You sell the tickets or?
Yes.
Okay.
So for our first couple of events, we did it free because honestly, I needed to have data. So that's one thing that I've learned for anyone that's coming up. Like if you're working with companies, you're working with business, they want to be able to see what you can do. So like with my first 3 events, we did do them. They were for free. Thankfully, we worked with the venues. They allowed us to use their venues for free. But now because I have the data of like even with something as simple as our Eventbrite tickets or our RSVPs, I'm like, look, this is what I can do. I can put together an event in 2 weeks. I can bring you over 300 RSVPs. How can we work together? So now it's like, we're getting a percentage, of the bar. Now we can sell tickets at the door. But it's like where I'm able to show you solid proof of what I can do. And it's not just talking to talk, like here's the actual work and here's the actual proof.
I always tell people when they start a business, the first thing you have to do is build an audience.
Yes.
Like when a lot of times when people are launching, like, and I get this often with entrepreneurs selling a product where they're like, I'm not going to launch my website. Everything has to be perfect until the products are perfect, the stitching's perfect. And it's like, you absolutely don't want to go out there and say you have something available for sale, unless you're like a celebrity or you have a lot of following.
Yeah.
But if people don't know you for this, you want to actually start marketing your brand before you can actually sell a product, because you need to start building that audience. So you may need to do some things for free, or just like really go hard on social media for 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months, maybe even a year before you even decide to monetize anything. Zuckerberg had Facebook for a long time before he monetized it. So it's all about building that audience.
No,
it's really important.
I completely agree. And honestly, utilizing your resources. If you have 5 close friends, talk to your close friends, share your vision with them, and tell them what it is that you're trying to do, and have them, be a part of the project too, because word of mouth is everything too. And that's something I realized as well. So it's like, I know we're kind of like, oh, we don't want to share things because we're scared of how it's going to get out. Like, look, just put it out there. And that's something that's worked with me. That's worked with a lot of people that I know too. It's just, don't be afraid to, and even I'm telling you, if you only have like 1 or 2 supporters, show so much love to that 1 or 2 supporters, because what's going to happen, they're going to relay that message like, oh, you need to hear about this person, Delilah, or you need to hear about this person, so-and-so, like, they're always doing this, they're always showing so much love. And then, they bring people towards you, and then those people relay the message, and those people relay the message. Like, one thing I hate, because trust me, I understand when you're first starting a brand, a business, or whatever, you're going to go through some of the most trying times of your life. Like, you're literally like the most like emotional roller coaster you've ever been through. And one thing I've always noticed when you come across those new entrepreneurs is people, like, they'll get excited. I have this product, I'm going to put it out there. But then when you're not receiving the response you want, you're like, why don't I have any support? When I make it, I'm going to remember this, et cetera, et cetera. Don't even do that, because what you're doing is you're putting that negative energy out there. And if you even if you only have 2 supportors, those 2 supporters, they're going to see that message and they're like, damn, like, I'm
you
supporting
don't appreciate
you.
me,
Yeah.
right.
Like, I'm supporting you.
My chopped liver.
Exactly. So like, me personally, because I felt offended a couple times with people that I know I go hard for and that I support with all their stuff, and I see them posting things like that, and I'm just like, dude, like, hello. So I mean, that's something I took just as a consumer aspect, and then I, you know, a mental note I made even when it comes to my own brand. Like, you would never see me, you know, giving anyone a platform of like, oh, you know, this person hasn't supported me or hasn't done that. I don't care about that. I only care about those people that are supporting me, and they're gonna get so much love from me, and that's consistent. And again, that it's a domino effect after that. So.
It's interesting. I have tons of questions, but it's interesting because there is a very well-known social media person who they recently did an event, and a highlight at their event, they like made a whole thing about these people that hated on them.
Yeah, I saw.
And I'm like,
yeah,
you know,
I mean, to each their own. Like,
to each his own. It just makes me sad though, because I want us Philadelphians to win, but it's like, why are you like that? Just it just made me sad, because I don't know. I hope that those types of things don't have a negative ramification on the person's brand. You know, I completely agree with you. Like, the people that support, love on them, appreciate them, because there's so many things out here for people to actually support.
They don't have to buy your t-shirt, they don't have to purchase your product or your coaching session, anything. They don't have to do that, but the fact that they are doing it, again, even if it's because I've had events where I've had like, you know, 80 whatever RSVPs, and then maybe only 10 people show up. I'm gonna pretend like there's 80 people there. Like, I'm gonna have so much fun with those 10 people. These 10 people are gonna know each other's first names, last names, what they do, your entire life.
Somebody's
stories.
gonna make $1 million off of this meeting each other.
Leave having a great time. Like, you're not gonna see me upset. Like, I'm telling you, there's just so much love to give, that again, even if it's one person that comes out, thank you so much, because you took time out of your day to support me. Like, that never goes overlooked. So
okay, you talk about like how, you know, you've been on this journey for 5 years, and it's been like a roller coaster. Look, tell us about that. Like, well, you know what? Before you even go into that, I have another question.
Okay.
Before you get to that question, what is your vision for the brand? Like, what do you want it to look like? If the world was yours, you can wake up tomorrow. What does the brand look like?
So my brand is definitely going to be one of the top recognized media agencies in not just the country, but it's internationally recognized as well. We are doing events all over the country, and just like, so with me, what I want to do is like, you know, I want our headquarters to be here in Philadelphia, not like anywhere else. When I first launched DNC, I had moved to New York, because I'm like, oh, anyone media related, you need to go to New York or LA. That's where everything is at. But I noticed that Philadelphia is lacking in like the media industry in a sense, like besides like the, you know, the big networks. But like, and my whole thing was like, why am I economically helping another city but not the city that raised me? So it's like, you know, I feel like as us Philadelphians, we have this mindset, especially when you come from inner city neighborhoods. Everyone's like, you need to get out to make it. You need to get out to make it. Like, you know, Philadelphia, Philly's trash, there's nothing here. But the thing is, if you get all these people that are getting out once they make it, what are you doing for the people that's left behind? Like, this is your city. This is a city that raised you, regardless if you had good times or bad times. Like, what are you doing to give back to your city? So my whole thing is that's a part of my legacy, is just like impacting the city, not in just on a, you know, mentally, emotionally way, but economically as well. So my vision obviously is like, you know, I want, like, we're going to be the top media industry. It's like the fact we'll be able to bring opportunities to Philadelphia that hasn't been brought here before. I know Philadelphia is definitely on the rise right now. I mean, even with like, it's like events like the festivals, like Made in America Festival, they definitely brought a lot of attention here. And now more festivals are coming here. A lot of people are moving here. Philadelphia is definitely on the rise, but I definitely want our headquarters to be here. But yeah, we just.
So you plan to do that mainly through events?
Well, events and like our media, the contents that we do, and all, like the content we push out and stuff. So it's just, still figuring it out. I'm not gonna pretend like I have everything figured out. I'm kind of just like winging it through, and it's things have just been happening. But yeah, I know, like, essentially, like, yeah, we'll just be recognized. Everyone's gonna want to work for Delilah Company, want to intern, or be a part of the brand because of how recognized it is. So I mean, my whole thing is just like, look, even because I have a lot of people that are just like, Delilah, like, why don't you just work for BET or MTV? Like, you have the experience, you have the personality. And I'm like, dude, like, at one point, BET and VH1, they didn't exist. That was just an idea.
Right.
You know, granted, they may have investors and stuff to make it to like where it is right now, but if they were able to do it, why can't I?
Right.
And what's crazy is that I'm covering the same events as BET and MTV and all. Like, I'm at the BET Awards on the same carpet. I'm at the Nickelodeon Halo Awards, like, same line as these people. So I may be at the, you know, the last of the line, but I'm still there. I'm still being recognized. So it's just like my journey may be a little longer, but you don't understand like how much I believe in myself and I believe in my vision. I believe like Delilah Company is just, again, this when this originally started, it was just gonna be a video. It was just going to be a video series, and then it turned into a blog, then it turned into events, and it turned into just digital content. And now we're selling shirts, we're doing merchandise, and it's just evolving. You know, it's just
listen. It sounds like our brand. Seriously, we just started. I was doing websites, and now we have communities. We do events, merchandise, the book. We have all these different things.
Ourselves in one box. You know, there's opportunities, and yes, I mean, I love growing. I love learning. I'm never going to be like, I'm not going to stick to one thing. You know, there's an opportunity. If I'm interested in it, then I'm going to try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Right. So okay. So let's talk about some of these, you know, shaky times in the past 5 years. Like, talk about something that was a really defining moment for you.
Okay, so actually I spoke about this in one of our series too. So we do this thing that's called behind the Instagram photo, because, you know, Instagram, we like to highlight we like to highlight our success, but not really tell the story what happened behind the scenes.
That's super hot.
So one of them, so like this picture was one of the pictures at that time that had like a whole lot of likes. People were freaking out when they saw me on the BET, the red carpet, because I was doing like red carpet escorting for that, and that was the first time I was doing anything with BET. And so everyone was like, oh my God, congratulations, I'm proud of you, et cetera, et cetera. But the funny thing is, like, people don't know what I had to do to get to California in the first place. At that time, I was working this part-time job and, you know, making like barely any money. And, you know, just basically was able to cover my cell phone bill and just, you know, a little bit here and there. So, and when you're building the brand, obviously, like, you know, money's everything. So the thing is about the media industry, especially when it comes to covering events, you never find out if you're covering an event or you've been given credentials until probably like a week or two before the actual event. You may apply for credentials 3-4 months ahead, but you won't find out until like, you know, before the actual event. So with that, I was just like, because I have applied for multiple events in the past and I would always get denied. Because, I mean, it's okay. You know, when you're a growing outlet, you don't have that much data. You know, they're always going to choose the bigger outlets regardless. So I was just like, I didn't think to like save money. Not that I had money to be saving anyway. So like, yeah, I had applied for credentials and then, I didn't think anything of it. Then I received notification. I got the email from the PR team, like, oh, you know, you've been approved, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, yay. I'm like, wait, how am I going to get there? I'm like, we're going to stay. I'm like, what's going on? Wait. So it just so happens that at that time, my mother's, a good friend of my mother, she owns a cleaning company. And of the cleaning company, like, two of her big clients are strip clubs. So, you know, so she like goes into the strip clubs from like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. she's cleaning. Like, she's cleaning the two clubs. They're back, like, they're right near each other. And then at that time, she had just had surgery. And it's just like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. You know, God aligns whatever. He brings opportunities for, you know, for things to happen. So it's so funny because I received the email that day. When I got home that night, my mom was telling me, yeah, you know, so-and-so had surgery. She was actually asking my mom if she could, you know, help her because she won't be able to move her body as much, you know, when it comes to cleaning. And then she's like, you know, she's going to pay this amount. My mom was debating. And I was like, I just received the email that, you know, I've been approved, like, credentials for the BET Awards. Do you think I can take it? And, you know, can I do that, you know, so I can get, because that's like fast money. So, you know, to purchase a ticket and everything. And she's like, yeah. So she talked to her friend. You know, I did my test run, but it was crazy because, like, so my schedule for those 2 weeks was literally like, I would have to wake up at 3 a.m, And then we'll get to, because I was just throwing whatever because I'm cleaning whatever. We'll get to like the first club by like 3:30, 3:45. So we clean, we wrap up there to 6, and then we'll go to the next club. And we're there, we wrap up like around 9 o'clock basically. And then from there, I'm running home to take a quick shower, to get ready to be at work at by 11:30 at my part-time job. And then I'm there from 11:30 to 7. So that was my schedule for like 2 weeks. And so by the time I get home, like I was just like exhausted. I would basically just have time to eat, take a shower, and go to sleep. So it's just like, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. And honestly, at that time, I was embarrassed because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm cleaning toilets, I'm cleaning floors and shit. But I'm like, you know what? In my head, I'm like, Delilah, this is what you have to do. Like, you have to make sacrifices. This is, again, I have to tell myself anytime, like, you know, I'm going through anything, I'm like, this is just this is a part of your story. It's just a chapter. It's not how it's going to end. So, I mean, that was just like, but I remember the first couple of days, I'm like, but like afterwards, I felt proud. Because, you know, some people be like, you know, may not have that, you know, that willpower to like, I'm not going to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, go clean a, you know, strip club. You know, what I look like, oh, you know, I'm just going to miss out on this opportunity. And yeah, whatever, you know, just not going to happen. But, you know, just, again, everything is like how you perceive every single situation you're in right now. So with me, it's like, you know, eventually I'm like, yo, like, Delilah, you kind of popping. Like, you're really doing you're doing what you need to get done to make sure you know, you make your dreams come true. Right. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of like a real defining moment because, like, wow, I should have been, you know, initially I felt like I was like ashamed. And because, again, I'm like, you know, why am I doing this? Why don't I have like a full-time job? Why? And I'm like, you know what? This is just a chapter in your story. Like, you know what, Delilah? Like, be proud of this. Is a job. Like, it's a job. It's an opportunity. Like, and it's something that was literally happened in perfect timing to give you the cash you needed to purchase your ticket and go to LA.
That's crazy. And, I love that story. I love that story. I also love this. Love how you, in your mindset, you know what? I'm not going to be ashamed. Yeah. I'm proud of myself. Yeah. And I'm proving to myself how bad I want this. Yes. Because, you know, one person would have said no. Someone would have made an excuse. Yeah. Like, no, that's too much. Oh my God, I got it, but I don't have any money. They would just gave up immediately. Like, literally gave up immediately.
So, I mean, it's mind over matter. I mean, our whole thing with the Delilah Company, we have this hashtag called Occupying Your Mindset. And that's basically what we want to do is just, again, have people understand that you can take control of your mind, you take control of your life. And I mean, that's what our whole brand, you know, is kind of built off of. It's regardless of any situation that's thrown your way, whatever, everything, life is what you make it. It's how you like react to every single situation. Like, you know, even like the kids that I mentor and stuff, I always tell them, like, you cannot control things that happen. You cannot control, again, what people do, what people say. But the one thing you always have complete control of is how you react to every single situation, how you take every single situation, how you view every single situation. And perspective is everything. Perspective is literally like the key to whether you'll be living a good life or bad life. That is regardless of whatever is handed at you. So
true. Doesn't even make sense how true it is. I'm known for, like, if something bad is happening, I gotta figure out a way to spin it in my favor.
I'm like, okay, what am I learning from this? Like, what's going on? Like, why is this happening? Like, okay, what am I supposed to take from this? Basically,
right. Yeah. So that's a really incredible story. Okay, so what's the next big thing that you have coming up? What's the biggest thing you have on the horizon?
The biggest thing I have on the horizon. For confidentiality purposes, I don't think I'm able to speak on it, but maybe we'll have to see. However, I mean, we do have another event coming up, Black and Latinas, for the Culture Mixer, which is on May 10th. And it's also a pre-birthday celebration for me, which is why I kind of chuckled when you did your thing, because it's around my birthday, so we figure it's going to be a birthday celebration for me. But yeah, it's just kind of now it's just like focus on doing more events. And now we're doing, because I also have a Manas and Hustle project. And the whole thing is like, you know, it started off as doing like pop-up photo shoots. Like, you know, girls, we love photo shoots. So what, a photo shoot free one? Okay, where am I? So, I mean, growing up, it's crazy. I feel like I've always wanted to be one of the guys. I've always, because it was always cool to like not have girlfriends and only have guy friends, be considered one of the guys. But like now as I'm older, I realized just how wrong that thinking was.
And you know, it's funny because I was like that as growing up. I was kind of a tomboy. Yeah. And I didn't really have too many girlfriends. But now that I'm an adult, I have I have tons and
I
tons of
love
girlfriends. Me too.
women, like
Me
just
too.
like how powerful we are, just like what we can do when we come together. It's just like the whole like sisterhood. I'm just like, dude, like why was I denying you before? But I mean, that's a whole other conversation for another day.
That's just a maturity level.
I mean, that's just society telling you to like trying to downplay women or whatever.
Right.
However, but no, so it's crazy because even as of recently, just like a lot of women that I follow, and I just like there's so many great women doing amazing things, whatever their industry is, and just taking over, like, you know, shattering glass ceilings, you know, setting records, you know, making history. And I'm just like, I want us to work together more. So especially, you know, just us, like, so Hermanas and Hustle, I mean, it's like sisters and hustle basically. And so what we do is like, we started off, we had like the first one, I did like a random pop-up photo shoot where I just had like, called my friend was a photographer, and I was like, hey, I just want to bring girls together, you know, have everyone dress up, network with one another, and just like, we can do a photo shoot. And, you know, you trying to do this or not? He was like, okay, yeah, of course. So I just did like a random thing on social media. I was like, hey girls, like, you know, I'm going to have a pop-up photo shoot, come through, like, you know, connect with one another. Like, this is what we're doing. And I mean, the first one, it went so well. Like, you know, it was like girls from different backgrounds, different industries, and they were able to connect. Like, you know, for instance, we had someone that was like the head of like the nursing association. She wanted to start doing like fitness classes for her nurses, and then we had a fitness instructor, so they were able to connect. We had like an aspiring model and then like aspiring photographer, so they were able to connect. So it's just like that. I'm like, this is what we want to do. Mm-hmm. So, and then we did like another one in New York, and we had girls again from different, you know, industries come, and, you know, we do like this saying to one another, like, we are sisters, like, we're in this together, we're women, we're powerful, like, you know, we lean on one another, and it's just kind of, yeah, I don't know. So now, like, we're going to be doing like, you know, brunches and everything, but yeah, I just love bringing women together because we're amazing or whatever. So.
This is true. Okay, so in your journeys, if you could give our listeners one piece of advice as you're starting this business, because you still have your regular job and you're planning, you're planning your exit there.
Yes.
What's your timetable, you think?
Maybe within this year, give or take.
You think so?
So, I mean, I set the foundation there. I mean, it's definitely, because it's hard because I work with students too, and I've definitely become attached to a lot of them, and they're literally my babies. But yeah, there's a lot happening on like from Delilah Company, and it's like literally, unfortunately, Amazon doesn't sell clone machines yet, so like because I can't, you know, have one that handles this and that. Probably like within the next year.
Okay,
so, yeah.
good. So as you're making this transition out, what is your biggest lesson that you've learned as an entrepreneur that you feel like is like, if you just really stay true to that, that's going to get you to your goal line of doing this full time?
Ooh. Just focusing on a monetary gain, I guess, like, an understanding numbers in general. I think before, because like with me before, it was just... with me, you know, it's not all about likes or comments and stuff. It's like how you're utilizing your platform to gain monetary gain, basically. So it's just how to monetize off of it. So like, you know, okay, you can have a lot of followers, but what is that doing for you? If you have like, you know, you can have 19,000 followers, like everyone's like, oh, you're popping. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, but I don't have 19,000 shirts that are being sold, so it doesn't really mean anything. So just kind of, yeah, working on business plans in general. Is like, okay, so this is what we have coming out this month. How can I market this? How can I promote it? And again, like, you know, what results can I get from this? But yeah, I don't know. I'm so
well, I mean, because you're a creative, and sometimes you can get kind of lost in the creativity. You always have to remember to come back. I mean, even I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years. That's something I always have to, because I love doing events. We got real estate. We have a whole bunch of things going on, and I always have to make sure that like we have different timetables for our money. So like real estate stuff that's like 6 months to a year out. Any real estate activity that we do, any marketing that we do for digital marketing that is, you know, that may not monetize until like 3 or 4 weeks, or like certain things that'll monetize today, event ticket sales. So I always have to have an event going on to make sure that I can do something today. but always keep my eye on the prize for that 6-month money, and then the 2-week money, 3-week money. So I always have to remember, like I could get lost in doing a bunch of small stuff if I'm not focusing on the income generating activities.
So what I can imagine plays a huge portion to that is your team too.
Yes.
So one thing too is, you know, this whole, because I've noticed a lot with this generation, they like that whole lone wolf type mindset. I do everything on my own. Like, I built this on my own. I came into the world by myself. I'm doing this by myself. Like, I'm my own person. My circle's small. Like, that mindset needs to change. Because I'd imagine even with all this that you're doing right now, like with me, honestly, like the moment I started adding people into a part of my brain, not just my circle, but my brain, like, okay, you're good at this, I need help with that. You're good at this, I need help with this. Because, unfortunately, we don't know everything. And it's okay that we don't know everything. We can try to learn as much as we can. However, if you have people that are, like, it's literally, they're experts in these things, utilize your resources. Utilize your networks. How can we come together and work together to make your vision come true, my vision come true, et cetera, et cetera. But that's something that, as I'm transitioning to, is like, even for now, because before I used to go crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do content on this or on that. Like, honestly, I'm not like a big fashion person. Use this for an example. We have this Inspi Style segment where, it's focused on just like, designers or just like, people that have really dope style. They share their stories or whatever. Like, I put things together because I just like what I like for me. But like, for instance, my best friend, he is obsessed with fashion. All things sleep, breathes, eat. He can tell you, sees a dress, oh, this is from this line, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So I can't do that. I'm like, whatever.
Cute dress? Maybe?
This is exactly me. And I'm like, okay, I like how I don't, but he's really good at that. So like, for instance, like instead of me, so even with doing fashion shows, like I don't really, that's like not really my area, because I'm just a chill person. I'm not like one that's too like, oh, look at me in my fur. Yes, I don't know. It's just not my scene, and that's okay. But that's him all the way. So bringing him on, adding him onto the team, and he's the one that's like in charge of all the fashion corresponding, basically. So it's like he's able to do that. And like I said before, with my friend Shaquille, so he's really good. He's business savvy. So I'm like the talent, basically. I can bring people together. I can, I am the creative. I have like these visions, but it's like, he helps me. Okay, like that's cool, but this is what's realistic. Like, so it's kind of like, sets me down to like, we can make money off of this. Like, this is what can be done we can work on this maybe 3 months from now, but this needs to happen right now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I definitely do need people on the team. So, that will be like a big advice for people too, is just don't be afraid to add people on your team that you guys can work together and build off of one another.
A good part of leadership is proper allocating of resources.
Yes.
But people are resources.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can properly allocate money.
Yes.
That's a talent, but the ultimate talent is knowing how to properly allocate people.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've recently just started learning how to delegate certain responsibilities to people, and just like, Delilah, you don't have to do everything on your own. It's okay. So again, it's something that took me years to figure out. And
but once you figure it out, and figure out how to do it and kind of how to dance that dance. We all struggle with it, but once you figure that out, it'll you'll be able to get exponentially amount of work done.
Yep. Yep. Together, you can go somewhere fast alone, but you can go somewhere further together.
Right. That is very true. So, okay, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about, how they can reach out to you and come to your next event and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, definitely you can follow me on Instagram. I am Delilah Dee. Delilah, like, hey there, Delilah, what's it like? But yeah, I promote everything on my Instagram page. I do have Twitter and Facebook, but honestly, Instagram is where I am most active. It is definitely where I have the most engagement with my followers. And yeah, so I have like all the links to all my bio for each event that's coming up. So you definitely can follow me on there. And if you ever want to reach out to me for any questions in general, like my email is Delilah@DelilahCompany.com. I'm pretty much an open book. Again, I'm very transparent. I will share with you the good and the bad. I will not just sell you, glitz and glamour. Like, no. But yeah, I generally love connecting with people. Like I like you said, people I don't know, like people are resources too in a sense, and I love connecting with one another. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I'm pretty friendly.
Yes, she is. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show, Delilah.
No problem. Thank
you
you
are
for
such a
having me. I
ray of
appreciate
sunshine.
it.
Thank you. So you guys, you make sure you reach out to Delilah, especially if you're in Philly. If you're not in Philly, stay tuned. She's got things coming up all around the country. And she's also, like I said, a ray of sunshine. Every time I see her on Instagram, I'm smiling.
Oh, you stopping now.
So yes, make sure you reach out to her. And guys, don't forget, May 19th, the Better Than Success live podcast recording and brunch here. Get your tickets ASAP at betterthansuccess.com/brunch. And you know the drill. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Give us a 5-star rating, write us an amazing review, and hit that subscribe button. And share this episode with someone who you know who is into media. Share it with them and bless them. Someone who you know is a personality and they're growing their media brand or they're doing events. Share it with them, and I'm sure they'll be able to get something out of this. So until next time, you guys, happy entrepreneuring.